We can share with them the joy and the love that we found in Jesus Christ. We're no better than them. People say, oh, you grew up in America? You had the Bible? You're not sinners like we are. No, I said, I'm a sinner far worse than you are, because I grew up with this Bible in my hand since a child. My father read this Bible after breakfast, lunch, and supper, and I still lived my life till the Lord saved me, rejecting the Savior. Knowing all about Him, but rejecting Him. Why? I was looking for satisfaction in something else. For me, I was far the greater sinner than people who live in India never heard about Jesus. But God in His goodness and mercy, He stopped me. He opened my eyes. And He did it by showing me the joy in the lives of some simple, poor people in the northern part of Scotland. Young people, old people, rejoicing in Jesus, talking about Jesus like He was their best friend. I never encountered that. I grew up in a hyper-Calvinistic, dead background where people were proud of the doctrines of grace and how they could prove everybody else wrong, but they had no joy, no life. And here's people in the northern part of Scotland, very, very poor, and they're rejoicing in their best friend. And they're going to have a communion service, and they're going to rejoice in what Jesus Christ did for them. This was a precious time of remembrance. And the old couple we were with, he said, yeah, I don't know, it's really confusing. They believe in the doctrines of grace too, but I said they're happy. How come they're happy? How come they talk about Jesus like they know Him? We go to the western part of Scotland. We get in this little church, and I've been used to this kind of formal church, where the elders march down in pinstripe suits, and then the deacons and the poor wives are struggling in the back with all the children, and then the collection plates go whipping by with many of them, because they can't collect enough money the first time around. So we get to this western part of Scotland. Little group. And here's this old guy, so old. You talk about gifts. This guy's voice wasn't working anymore. But with the greatest joy and smile on his face, he was leading the music. And nobody stopped him. You couldn't hear him. His mouth he tried to open his mouth wider and he couldn't. And I'm thinking, but there's something here we don't have back home. We might have nice instruments. When we went to Holland after that, they had these great big pipe organs, and the music was going a mile a minute, and one collection played after the other, and the big show, and I'm thinking, I like the music of that old guy back there, even though I couldn't hear what he was saying. There was a joy in his life. Young people, teenagers, talking about Jesus as though He was their best friend. Let's never be satisfied without that kind of relationship with Him. The Bible comes alive. We begin reading it. We read the promises of God and they warm our hearts. We read through the Scriptures and they pierce our soul when what? Oh, we didn't meet up to this rule? No. When we're confronted with the life of Jesus Christ and His fullness and holiness, we're blown away by His kind of love. And we realize that all of the expressions of what we thought was love before isn't love. Not like Jesus' love. Walking with Jesus.